राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय श्री राम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय श्री राम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय श्री राम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय श्री राम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai
What is this and what is this?
Samji, this one, no, the mic has gone
Shri
from this
Ram
laptop.
Jai
So the sound is
Ram
not going to
Jai
devotee from this.
This
Jai
is this
So
is
Ram
this one, the
Om
sound is there.
Shri
So it should be
basically
sharing from
Ram
this.
Jai
Whatever Samji is showing,
Ram
no, that
Jai
is getting shared from that.
Jai
But
Ram
we
otherwise not
Om
necessary, no?
not
Shri
necessary.
Shri Ram Jai
Don't show the vision. I
Ram
have it.
Jai
No.
Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram
Should I move
Jai
it then? Should I
Jai
move it?
Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Shri
So then this is
Ram
the front.
Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri
Shri
Ram
Ram
Jai
Jai
Ram
Ram
Jai
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 Ram.
Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri
Shri
Ram
Ram
Jai
Jai
Ram
Ram
Jai
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 Ram.
Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri
Shri
Ram
Ram
Jai
Jai
Ram
Ram
Jai
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 Jai Ram
Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram
Jai
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 Jai Ram
Ram.
Shri Ram
This
Jai
one.
Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri
Ram
Ram
Jai
Jai
Ram
Ram
Jai
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 Ram.
Can you Samji?
Shri
Samji, you're
Ram.
looking where you're looking.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody.
Hari Om, Pranam.
Pranam, Pranam, Pranam.
Pranam, Swamiji.
Today we will take up
Namaskaram, Swamiji.
Namaskaram, Namaskaram. Vision for the month of September. Editorial article. Experience shows that everyone faces suffering in some form, whether physical, mental, or both. In fact, suffering is not only inevitable, but often necessary for growth, since every transition in life carries its share of challenges. At the same time, suffering humbles us, softening pride and dissolving vanity. Scriptures and words of Mahatmas remind us that suffering arises from our past karmas. Within the limited freedom available to us, we can choose to endure it patiently while invoking the grace of God, the indwelling reality. One saint beautifully expressed in this way, the enjoyment of pleasure and pain in this physical body is determined by our past karmas. Thought by thought, action by action, we have demanded the present body and mental equipment. Indeed, even while we are alive and acting here now, we are shaping the future life to come. With our own actions, we provide God with a blueprint of our destiny, and according to that specification, the body, the tent of experience, is built and handed over to each one of us by the all-merciful, omnipotent, divine Creator. When we truly reflect on these truths during times of hardships, it cushions the heart and helps us endure at every level, physical, mental, emotional. This month's issue of the Vision explores this theme further. Surrender brings peace by beloved Papa. Unquestioning surrender to God's will is faith. Whatever happens is attributed to the workings of God. God is taken as great, good and kind. He is the sole dispenser of all things. Since all events, changes and movements proceed from a heart ever filled with goodness, love and mercy, there is nothing to grumble at, nothing to find fault with, nothing to grieve over, nothing to be anxious about, nothing to be afraid of. All is His doing. He works always for harmony and joy. When this faith is ours, God becomes our never failing companion, guide, and friend. And we do all actions by His will. God becomes our never failing companion, guide, friend, and we do all actions by His will. That is, by His promptings. He is in us, everywhere around, about us. All doubts and fears now vanish away. We attain a state of freedom, which is itself absolute peace and bliss. To maintain equilibrium of mind, the sovereign remedy is to submit calmly to the will and working of the God who guides and controls the destiny of the universe. Never lose your equilibrium under any stress of external circumstances. They come and go like the clouds in the breeze. Stand firm on the rock of your unchanging, immortal existence. Since all events, changes, and movements proceed from a heart ever filled with goodness, love, and mercy, there is nothing to grumble over, nothing to be anxious about, nothing to be afraid of. All is His doing. When the mind is in tune with God, external conditions, however unfavorable, do not affect us. Difficult situations, disappointments, and clashes come to all alike in a greater or lesser degree. Great is he or she who remains calm and serene in all circumstances. This attainment is possible only when the mind is made to dwell in the divine and all actions are dedicated to Him. Just as an unshaped stone can be fashioned into a beautiful image worthy of adoration and worship only after it has received many a stroke of the chisel, so also a distorted and inharmonious life has to pass through many a trial, suffering, and tribulation before a great change could come over it, before the life of ignorance could be transmuted into a life of immortal splendor and joy, fit to be revered and fit to be adored. Don't ruminate over the past. All that happened in the past has been for good, so no thought need be taken of it. Have no thought or anxiety about the future. What is to happen does come to pass in spite of yourself. Be prepared to stay in any and every condition, calmly, coolly. No worry or anxiety can change the course of things as ordained, and for the present, think only of Ram and perform all actions and as offerings to him. This is Papa's lead article. What is the message?
Taking our life through the sufferings that we went through.
No, what Papa wants us is to somehow accept that everything happens only by His will. That stage we should reach, otherwise suffering is a suffering, That is the message. Unquestioning surrender to God's will. Toughest. It doesn't mean that we have to keep quiet. Whatever thoughts come and whatever actions proceed, whatever reaction or results come in, Everything has to be accepted as his will. Then he gives us the clue, there is nothing to grumble at, nothing to find fault with, nothing to grieve over, nothing to be anxious about, nothing to be afraid of. At the moment we can only read this, That is why we have still grumbling and complaints are there. We are also finding fault, either on a person or an object or a situation. Nothing to grieve over. We also grieve over. We are anxious. We are also to some extent afraid, feel afraid of. So when he makes us to read this, we try to reflect upon it. How can I reach that state? You have reached that state and you are expressing it. So to maintain equilibrium of mind, the sovereign remedy is to submit calmly to the will and working of God, who guides and controls the destiny of the universe. Never lose your equilibrium under any stress of external circumstances. Another message is he wants us to look at a statue, with the chisel. The Stapati keeps on chiseling and removing so many things. From the platform of the stone, it is highly painful, But after it is over, the same piece of stone is adored and respected by innumerable people. Because after the consecration is over. Just as an unshaped stone can be fashioned into a beautiful image worthy of adoration and worship only after it has received many a stroke of the chisel, so also a distorted and inharmonious life has to pass through many a trial, suffering and tribulation before great change could come over it, before the life of ignorance could be transmuted into a life of immortal splendor and joy, fit to be revered and adored. You have to think about it. The other day, somebody was telling, Papa chanted Ramnam along with attributes, okay. We have been chanting Ramnam for decades. Why do we feel that we are still where we are or we were? So another one commented, Papa was subjected to go through the severest trying moments. Then the change came. We are not subjected to that. Our life does not have that much suffering. When we think over it, yes, to some extent it is also right. The same case with Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is given to Arjuna in a trying moment. You and I are hearing with a comfortable background. That is why it is not appealing to us. He was desperately seeking an answer. Shishyasteham shadimam tam prapannam. He says, I am unable to karpanya dosho makata svabhava. So he says, my life second chapter. Though he,
7. 7.
कार्पण्यदोषो मगधस्वभाव पृच्छ्वामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यच्चेयस्य निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेहं शादिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम्. This is something we have to keep on thinking in. No? Why, in spite of hearing, what is happening to us? We cannot blame anybody. With my very being smitten by the vice of faint-heartedness, Arjuna's mind is like this. He says, with my very being smitten by the vice of faint-heartedness, and my mind puzzled with regard to duty, I beseech you, tell me that which is decidedly good. I am your disciple. Pray, instruct me, who have taken refuge in you. First of all, we have not taken refuge in him. Second thing, though we say we are the disciple, we have not mentally made, because that attitude has not come to us. And I am not, Duryodhana was caught in that, Arjuna was caught in that mental tussle. He cannot abandon the assignment, but he cannot fully go along with it. The first chapter clearly illuminates the total confusion he has. So it was at that condition that Lord gave him this Bhagavad Gita. You and I are listening to this, that's all. We are not passing through such severe mental crisis. Papa often quotes Kuti Devi's prayer that give me sufferings so that I will remember you. None of us are prepared to pray for sufferings, Whenever some small suffering comes, we immediately pray, please give me relief. Anyway, everybody may reflect upon it. It's a very important point. So just as an unshaped, don't ruminate over the past. All that happened in the past has been for good. So no thought need be taken of it. Have no thought or anxiety about the future. What is to happen does come to pass in spite of yourself. Be prepared to stay in any and every condition, calmly, coolly. No worry or anxiety can change the course of things as ordained, and for the present think only of Ram and perform all actions as offerings to him. That means we have to somehow bring him into the picture, That is the message. Somehow we have to bring God into the picture. From him only we have started. He is only providing everything to us. These two factors we don't know, or even if we intellectually know, we forget. So there should be some sadhana in us which constantly reminds us of our source, constantly reminds us of the great provider who has been providing from day one to now. So when we become conscious that he is the provider, then only there won't be any grumble, there won't be any anxiety. Because he has sent us, does he not know what is to be done and what is not to be done? He may have his own reasons for us to go through certain experiences which we label it as sufferings. So each and every article we have to do some reflection. Beloved Papa answers, why did God create suffering? Devotee asked Papa. In suffering we remember God. In giving us suffering, he is very kind to us. He enables us to remember him. As manure is necessary for the growth of a plant, so suffering is necessary for the growth of the soul. If only we remember this at the time of suffering. As manure is necessary for the growth of a plant, so suffering is necessary for the growth of the soul. Every condition can make us happy if we constantly remember God and the mind is attuned to him. That is the problem. 99.99999%, the me and mine is only there. He is not there, no. Happiness does not depend upon what we are. God must draw our hearts to Him, and it is then that we are happy. When Ramdas was taken out of his old life and made to roam all over India with only a wearing cloth and with no money in hand, he must have appeared to others a very unhappy man. But he was very happy. Happiness does not consist in having comforts. We can be happy in any condition. External circumstances are not responsible for one's joy or grief. The mind is responsible. It depends upon our mental attitude to life. The mind should ever be in the contemplation of God. Even that blind sadhu praised God for his mercy. He glorified God and said, I am blessed.
I deleted the last one. I deleted that last line.
Can be there.
Can be there.
Can be. Because the blind sadhu did not grumble, did not complain. But suddenly the blind sadhu appears there. That is the only thing. Purpose of suffering by Mother Krishna Bai. You always ask questions about why there is so much of evil in the world. Why there is so much suffering and all that. You should not find fault with Papa's creation. Even the so-called bad is his doing. Now when you have a stomach ache, what do? Don't you take some bitter medicine to cleanse your stomach of the undigested food? This whole universe is Papa's own body. And if any part of it is suffering, it is only Papa who applies the cure for the situation by making that part of the world go through some bitter experience. So whatever happens, we should take it as for our good. For is not Papa our mother? She knows what is best for her children. Can a mother ever be cruel and harsh to her children? So whatever is happening in the world should be taken as happening by Papa's will and for our own good. Motherly feeling. Present is the result of the past by Puja Swami Satchidananda. Life is not always smooth for everyone. Difficulties come to one and all in life, sometime or other, according to the effects of past karma. Good deeds bring about sweet fruits, bad deeds bring about bitter fruits. So the present difficulties are the result of bad actions in the past. Realizing this, we should face all situations with equanimity, drawing the necessary strength from the Lord seated within, at the same time desisting from bad deeds and doing only good deeds now so as to ensure a content and happy life hereafter. One thing is sure, God is never partial. We suffer here because of our own past actions. Others seem to enjoy here as a result of their own past actions. If they are doing anything bad now, they are sure to suffer in the future. Keep chanting the holy Ram Nam as much as possible. Truth will reveal itself to you when your mind gets more and more purified. Everything will be clear then. Till then, have faith in the words of the saints and carry on, accepting cheerfully the effects of your own actions and trying to do only that which will bring sweet fruits in the future. The message of Mataji is that sufferings will be there, but just like when we get something, we take the medicine, It may be a surgery, it may be an injection, it may be a bitter medicine. So that is the nature. So similarly, when something happens outside, Papa, she says that God, we have all God's children, everywhere he is. So one part of the child, when it suffers, the other part goes there. So we can put it in this way. If the field is not there, how can we experiment? Somebody is suffering, we will definitely go and do something, as much as possible. Either a word or a deed or something like that. So the field is given by him for us to express our compassion. We can also take it like that. Though not in all, at least in some of the incidences. And in Swamiji he is again reminding us of the past actions, karma. Editor answers, question. When we suffer, we often end up with making everyone around us unhappy as well. How can we deal with suffering while keeping our mind positive? Answer, no one is completely free from suffering.
Sometimes the grumbling becomes very necessary for getting treatment and all that from there. People will treatment and will collapse. The grumbling, sometimes the grumblings are needed to get the attention.
Sometimes grumblings are needed to get attention.
Suppose we feel the grumbling is also done because of him, there is no problem. If it stems from the individual level, it's a problem. We can do this, no?
No, it is not connected with unaccustomed satsangs. Sound will not.
Well, you use in the direct,
Direct length is not.
In our room there is a
Extension box, maybe that will work. The extension box will work.
on the table it is there. Table here. No one is completely free from suffering in one form or another, whether on the mental or physical level, it comes to all. Naturally, our reactions to pain can create disturbances not only within us but also for those around us. The real question then is how to face such situation. One helpful approach is to gradually train ourselves in daily life to loosen the deep-rooted identification with the idea I am the body. If we keep some inner distance from this thought that I am this body, very difficult, but we should try. A natural strength of endurance begins to grow within us. With that strength, we stop making a fuss over physical discomforts. And as a result, we no longer spread our suffering to others. Endurance thus develops step by step. No one is completely free from suffering. In one form or another, whether on the mental or physical level, it comes to all. Naturally, our reactions to pain can create disturbance not only within us but also for those around us. The real question then is how to face such situation. One helpful approach is, this is a trial we have to do, it's a tough job. Because we don't identify with anything excepting our body, whatever said and done. So one helpful approach is to gradually train ourselves in daily life to loosen the deep-rooted identification with the idea, I am the body. That means, in the normal days, whenever we get a pause moment, if we can dwell on this, I am aware of my body. When I close my eyes, I can aware of myself. My complete body I can see. So I cannot be the body. Something like that, whatever one feels. Some dissociation. So that is what is meant here. One helpful approach is to gradually train ourselves in daily life to loosen the deep-rooted, very difficult. So at least loosen deep-rooted identification with the idea, I am the body. If we keep some inner distance from this thought that I am the body, a natural strength of endurance begins to grow within us. We have to experiment and see for ourselves. Not by reading or knowing we can do that. Every one of us should try this right from now. So that when the body is passing through such a crisis, it will give a cushioning. If we keep some inner distance from this thought that I am the body, a natural strength of endurance begins to grow within us. With that strength, we stop making a fuss over physical discomforts. And as a result, we no longer spread our suffering to others. It will be a silent suffering. Endurance does develop step by step. Beloved Papa repeatedly reminds us his words, the body is a queer instrument, subject to all sorts of disorders. This is true for everyone. Always be conscious that you have a body, but do not think that you are the body. Pain is there, no doubt, because you have a body. Holding on to this perspective helps us face suffering with peace while keeping our mind steady and positive. All this can come only through our own experience. The Gita touch in daily life, sloka number 29 of chapter. Rediscovery. Ratnakar was gifted, that right chapter. Ratnakar was a gifted software engineer in Bangalore, living a comfortable life with his wife and young daughter, when a prestigious multinational company in Mumbai offered him a high-paying managerial role. Ratnakar was exhilarated. The promise of a hefty salary, a coveted title, and the admiration of his peers was irresistible. Eager to prove himself and climb the corporate ladder, he accepted the offer, moving to Mumbai, leaving his family behind. At first, the new job was everything he had dreamed of. The perks, the recognition, the sense of achievement. But soon the demands of the role took their toll. Long hours, relentless travel, constant pressure left him drained. He missed birthdays, school performances, quiet evenings with his family. His hobby, his photography, volunteering fell by the wayside. The excitement faded, replaced by a growing sense of emptiness and fatigue. One evening, after missing his daughter's school play for the third time, Ratnakar sat alone in his apartment, overwhelmed by regret. His body felt heavy, his mind restless, his heart ached with longing for the life he had left behind. The Gita teaches that the body often echoes the mind's turmoil. When our actions are driven by fear, ego, or societal pressure, we lose sight of our true path, and both mind and body suffer. The turmoil in Ratnakar's mind is mirrored in sloka number 29 of chapter number 1 from the Bhagavad Gita. Hidanti mamagatrani mugamcha parishishyate Vebhushishta sharire ma roma harshascha jayate. My limbs give away, my mouth is parched, my body trembles, my hair stands on end. The mental state, The mental state is reflected in the physical body. The mental restlessness, uneasiness. Just as Arjuna's body faltered under the weight of inner conflict, Ratnakar too experienced exhaustion, restlessness when his life strayed from its true course. His struggles revealed how the body mirrors the mind's confusion, reminding us that real strength lies in aligning our choices with the heart's deepest truth. After deep reflection, Ratnakar realized he had been chasing external rewards, status, money, validation, while neglecting what truly mattered: connection, balance, inner fulfillment. With courage, he resigned from the high-pressure job, returned to Bangalore, accepting a simpler role that paid less but allowed him to be present for his family and pursue his passions. The decision brought him peace and genuine happiness. After reading, nobody will resign, but at least they will start thinking. Pain is a blessing in disguise by Swami Chidananda Ji. The divine has been shaping you gradually for the noble, sublime life, spiritual, through various means. He has been putting opportunities in your way, bringing obstacles, giving bitter experiences. God does more miracles through painful and unpleasant experiences than He does through pleasant experiences. We say it's a miracle only when we are passing through, Probably when we are successful, we don't bring him into the picture at all. I could do this, I have impressed, I have made it, I have hit the target. So God does more miracles through painful and unpleasant experiences than He does through pleasant experiences. Pain is an eye-opener. When one realizes the ground truth that association with all temporary things is fraught with sorrow, then only our journey to eternal begins. Pain is a blessing in disguise. Pain turns your mind towards God, in whom alone there is lasting happiness and peace. God sometimes puts His devotees in difficult situations in order to strengthen them spiritually. Papa is talking from his own experience. The period from 1920 to 22. God sometimes puts His devotees in difficult situations in order to strengthen them spiritually. Face difficulties bravely. Each failure is a stepping stone to success. Rely on Him He knows what is best for you. Pray to God to give you strength to face them calmly. He will protect you and guide you. Difficulties come in our path to test our strength. Remember, even this will pass away. The world is the play of God. Be a witness in this play. God is kind and merciful. Therefore, despair not. Be calm, serene. Who is carrying your burden? By Mata Amritanandamayi. Once a man was standing on a train with his suitcase on his hand, crying loudly. Seeing him crying, another passenger asked, "What is wrong? Why are you crying?" The man said, "The suitcase is too heavy." The co-passenger said, then put it down. The first man replied, "No, how can I? I only bought a ticket for myself. I did not buy one for my suitcase." The poor man in the story does not realize that whether he carries the suitcase on his head or not, the train is still carrying the weight. This is how our condition is today. We find it so hard to surrender to the divine. In life, we can only put forth our best of effort, surrender the rest to the divine will. It is in that state of surrender that the Lord accepts all our burdens. Sorrows are our creations, not God's. If we want to be able to face them, then we need to unburden ourselves of them. We need surrender, which when viewed from another angle is nothing but self-confidence. It is the confidence that the divine will take care of everything. Anxiety about the future, lack of faith, these are the snakes we carry within. We need to surrender such anxieties at the feet of the divine. We need to put forth our effort and leave the rest to divine will. We must develop acceptance of all situations. When we look back our own life, probably all these things we will find it more real. Because in spite of sufferings, we have come out of it, How did we come out of it? You can ask. One more article of Papa. Universalize your vision. Usually our whole existence is centered in the ego. The ego is crystallized selfishness. We toil day and night in order to get something only for ourselves and our kith and kin. Our vision is thus circumscribed. Outside that circle, the world is not ours. So long as the ego is strong in us, we cannot be happy. We have to universalize our vision. We cannot be, in that vision, the ego is lost, we will then be truly happy. If anybody abuses you, you naturally retaliate. If you do so, you pave the way for future suffering. Therefore, do not have enmity towards anybody. You suffer as a result of your own karma. Your so-called enemy is only an instrumental cause. You should forgive him, not in petty things alone, but when he has even ruined your life. You must be ready to help him in his difficulties. Jesus said, "Love your enemies." Buddha said, "Return love for hate." Once Jesus was asked, "Suppose a person does me wrong, how many times should I forgive him? Will 7 times do?" No, he said 77. 70 times 7. 70 times 7. 490. That means you should forgive him infinite number of times. Therefore it is said to err is human, to forgive is divine. When you develop the quality of forgiveness and are loving and compassionate towards your fellow being, you are revealing God in your heart. All these things are nice to hear. So during our sattvic moments like this, suppose we ponder, when we have to actually go through that moment, it might give us it will have some impact, no doubt about it. That is why satsang is prescribed, not for at the time of suffering. We train our mind to go along on these lines, so that in times of need the mind will know how to adjust. So we take that Papa is now providing various lines of thought through various Mahatmas, so that we try to understand. You can sit there. You can take the chair. So that is what is important. Otherwise, it will not have any impact. So constant reflection on what is right is a must. Then only something of it will remain with us, which will help us in times of need. Epistles of Swami Ramdas. Beloved Ram, love works most triumphantly in the field of self-suffering and self-sacrifice. It does not seek comfort or gain for itself at the expense of others. It bravely and cheerfully endures all pains and sorrows in a spirit of perfect surrender to the will and dispensation of the Supreme Lord of the universe, who is all love, mercy, forgiveness. When this spirit of surrender is attained, your very suffering and sorrows are transmuted into pure joy. A pessimistic view of life is the cause of our and others' miseries, whereas an optimistic one brings joy not only to oneself but also to others. So everywhere what is hammered is surrender, surrender, surrender. So we try. Intellectually we have understood that we owe our life to Him. Intellectually we try to understand that everything is provided by Him through His creation, namely Mother Nature and society. So when He is the originator and He is the giver, when we become aware of this truth, do we think that we will be able to have the negative thought? This we have to think. Because this is the first fundamental question in spiritual life. We have to go to our origin. At the moment we think we are the starting point, me and mine. So when we come to know that we owe everything to that power, an unknown power, who has not only created and left us, who has created and has been with us right from day one till this moment. If we try to remember this as often as possible, in times of stress, it will help us. Instead of blaming persons, objects, situations, we will direct it towards Him. Why are you making me to feel this? You are behind everything, I understand, but why you are making me to feel restless over it? Why you are not making me to accept it like that? Just like when I have a physical problem, I go to the doctor, take the medicine. When I am passing through stressful period, I come to you, you are the doctor and you are prescribing, but I am not doing what you are asking me to do. That I realize. Something like this, during our peaceful days. In memoriam Srimati Kamala Pradhanani, an ardent devotee of the ashram from Pune, was called by Birol Papa on 27th of August 2025, praying for Birol Papa's blessings on the dear departed soul for eternal rest and peace at his lotus feet. 15,500 crore Nam Japa Yajna for world peace. The total japa received in the fourth round of the 15,500 crore Nam Japa Yajna for world peace in the month of July 2025 is 220 crores, chanted by 1,81,480 devotees. The grand total of the japa done so far in this round now stands at 5,410 crores. Sessions with children. Sessions with children at Ananda Kudir. In the month of July 2025, 15 interactive sessions were held with children at Ananda Kudir here, in which 688 students participated. As the sessions are free from teaching and preaching, they help the children to bring out their own learnings. A few children who, at the end of every session, our facilitator will ask to write down their feedback. It is impossible to write everybody's and every session, so they have chosen a few. Ashwadit shared. Even today we were sharing with the facilitator. No? He says, the present day children are not only intelligent, but they are conscious of everything. It is wrong to say that the growing generation is going away from the path. No. This is our experience. After the COVID period, we have been trying to get this, this session has been going on. It must have crossed more than 7,000 children. And the feedback, something superb. And we get educated because of that. So Ashwadit said, I realize that I am responsible for many problems. I will correct them. They have no ego, They discuss among themselves and come out, not that we tell them anything. Nothing will be told. They discuss among themselves and find out an answer for themselves. Farsana reflected, the session helped me understand my bad habits. Arjun Ram, I will understand the financial situation at home and behave accordingly. I don't know whether it is connected to that, but I remember he sharing their total income, the parents' total income is only, say 300 rupees or 400 rupees per week. So this boy wanted a mobile which minimum cost is 3,000. So the mother, in her anxiety to make him happy, will go and borrow money and do it. And she will have to suffer, So this is what he said. I will understand the financial situation at home and behave accordingly. I will not be, children are telling, I will not be instrumental in creating problem for my parents. Naivedya, acknowledged. I realize that everything we have is a debt owed to others. We should live in a way that repays it. We have a card system, 25 discoveries or inventions or innovations and 25 scientists who have brought it. Then pairing up the program will go on. After the pairing up, they will sit and then facilitator will ask, why are we playing this game? Then she will say, we should know how all these things have come from whom. We were taking it as granted. We never bothered to understand all these things. So he says, I realize that everything we have is a debt owed to others. We should live in a way that repays it. Aisha said, I understood the importance of others in our lives. Not this card. Sparsha expressed, for happiness and peace, one has to change their way of thinking. Shri noted, I realized that many perceptions are misunderstandings. My mind became calm, and then my mind became calm. Rehana shared, we should understand other situations and not play with their feelings. School children. Jiyaraj stated, I realized that many problems at home and school arise due to our lack of attention. Sauparnika reflected, I learned that attention means doing things with the awareness that we are doing them. Highest philosophy. Mauna Sadhana. A day-long Mauna Sadhana is scheduled on the 13th September 2025. Devotees interested in participating may kindly inform through WhatsApp, so-and-so, or by email. Now it's more than 1 year we have been doing it. One day exclusively we observe Mauna, but not sitting alone. There are so many sessions there. Sitting, walking, seva, writing, different sessions will be going on. But we won't talk. Every session gives us some push toward the stillness within. It's a must. We also will have, by Papa's way, every year they have been doing it, devotees from Andhra Pradesh, Hyderabad and other, not only Telangana, Andhra Pradesh also. They come here in groups. This time 35 people are expected from 14th of this month to 21st of this month. 7 days around the clock Hare Rama chanting in this hall. In groups they will come and sit like baton getting passed. So and it will end on the 21st, which is Puja Mataji's Samadhi day. Jayanti day. So Papa is offering, not that we may be able to sit throughout, but as many times as possible we will be benefited, and they will also have the satisfaction of having done this. Coming all the way from there, leaving, they are all family people. And mostly mothers. They have come all the way from distant places, and for them it is a 7 days retreat, And for us, it gives us, whether we sit and hear their chanting or not, we think about their dedication, their commitment to this chanting, and how they chant. Day and night.
24 hours, 7 days.
24 hours. Papa, while drawing the trustee deed, has specifically mentioned this, providing facilities for such programs. So that's also will be there. Book in focus, Guru's Grace. The autobiography of Mother Krishna by Guru's Grace describes her years of struggle and how her meeting with beloved Papa Swami Ramdas hastened her realization of the Supreme. This intensely devotional book is addressed entirely to Papa, who stands for both the personal and impersonal aspects of the divine, and all the persons mentioned therein are regarded by her as Papa himself in those forms. Beloved Papa translated this book into English, available in English, Kannada, Malayalam, Telugu and Tamil. 122nd Jayanti of Puja Mataji. Puja Mataji Krishnabai's 122nd Jayanti will be observed on 21st September 2025. Through her tender motherly touch, Puja Mataji, who was the mother of all, revealed how spirituality can find expression in the simplest aspects of the daily life. On this sacred occasion, the vision offers its heartful homage to Puja Mataji with a prayer that she may bless all devotees with the strength and intensity to embody spiritual values in their everyday living, thus fulfilling the way of life she lovingly guided all towards. Thought for the month. Our actions in themselves are neither virtuous or sinful. They are simply activities of the divine Shakti. We give them the dual names and suffer through ignorance. Swami Ramdas. This is how the vision for September ends. So when you get it, if we are drawn to it, we may go through it, reflect it, so that we stand to get benefited. That much we can say. As a devotee, as a sadhaka, as a sincere seeker, we stand to get benefited. More of it tomorrow. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody.
Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam.
Namaskaram Swamiji.